Grevensteiner Naturtrübes Helles.
Remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Tonight, one from C&A Veltins from the western part of Germany. Meschede Grevenstein is the region in the North Rhine-Westphalia, and this is part of their Grevensteiner range, which so far every single beer I've had in that range has been absolutely superb. They do a land beer and it's amazing. It really is one to behold, and I like everything this brewery do. Veltins are quite a big brewery in Germany, and if you've ever tried their Pilsner, you'll know just how good that is, and they're a consistently good brewer, and one of the breweries who I think would give quite a lot of the Bavarian brewers a run for their money. I've not had a bad one from this lot, and I'm hoping this one is going to be good as well. Now, this Grevensteiner range is not part of their normal range. They have the C&A Veltins, the Pilsner, as I say, which is the most popular one. In fact, they sponsor Schalke 04, and Schalke 04 have a bit of a, how can we say, potted success, a bit like West Ham really, and I do look out for their results every now and again because I've got a bit of a not really a soft spot, but I'm just interested. I know that they're sponsored by a good brewery, so that's why I keep an eye out for them. But I'm hoping this one is going to be good as well, so as not to let the side down, because as I say, they are a consistently good brewery. You can get their stuff over here, and I've had some of their stuff on tap. There is a place in York, which is in the Shambles, which is the sort of the old town centre, or city centre I should say, and I think it's the World Beer Bar or something like that. They do a range of really good beer. They do a lot of craft beer as well, but they had Veltins on tap, and unfortunately I was with the missus. We can only stay for one, and I could have quite happily stayed there all afternoon drinking Veltins on tap. It's also one of my mates, Norby, who gave me this. It's one of his favourite beers as well, and rightly so. It is a fantastic beer. Now, this range, the Grevensteiner range, is a range of beers that has it's come up from the traditional recipes that they've done. All the recipes in this range are from old recipes, or sorry, I should say all the beers in this range are from old recipes. And the land beer, you really have to try it. It is fantastic. It's quite dark, really nice malty flavour, and well worth checking out. I think I gave that a 10 out of 10 and was a candidate for a comparison video. If ever I do a comparison video, it's always because it's one of the best in that range, and I can't decide between others which I think are the best, so a comparison video has to be done, and that is one of them. Anyway, I'm hoping this one is going to be good. It's a Helles. The two best Helleses that in my opinion, that I've tried out of all the ones, I mean there are some fantastic ones, but the two outstanding ones for me are the St. Georgenboy and the Augustiner. Will this be a contender? Let's find out. Get it open, see what's going on. Right, before we do, this is a free 30ml bottle. It's 5.2%. There is no brew sheet, unfortunately. There's a lot of marketing flim-flam saying what colours, what the flavours and what the colours are. I really don't take much notice to that, but I'll just make my own mind up. The ingredients, it conforms to the Reinheitsgebot, so you're not going to get anything in there other than the usual four main ingredients. But there's no brew sheet. I don't know what hops are in here. I don't know what variety of malts are in here either. So unfortunately, it's a bit sparse. There is the label, and this is in keeping with all their Grevensteiner labels, they all look pretty old-fashioned. Come on, autofocus, have you been on the piss or something? Fucking hell. And there is the Gumpf on the back, all in the German language, yeah, which I am apparently, according to my mate Norby, am fucking notoriously bad at. So I'm not even going to attempt to read out what's on the back. I'm just going to get it open, see what's going on. Right, it is hotter than a curd's armpit out there. It is fucking roasting. And this, I'm hoping, is going to go down very nicely indeed. Please don't let me down. Right, they say it's Naturtru. Naturtru, of course, means naturally cloudy. So you could argue it's potentially a Keller beer, but that's what it looks like in the glass. Very cloudy indeed. Nice sort of orangey golden colour. The head is quite slim white head on the nose. Oh yes, very nice indeed. Some real nice malty flavours on that, bready type malt, and some quite nice spice on there as well. There's some of that thyme, noble hop type spice, little mix of black pepper in there as well, and there's also a hint of that grassy hay, sweet hay type aroma. But it is looking quite good. Will the taste let it down? Let's find out. Zum Wohl, as they say in Germany. Oh, that is really good. Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot going on there as well. Apart from Percy scratching and panting, this weather is really not doing him any favours whatsoever. Anyway, let's get another mouthful. This really does taste like a land beer. There's an almost sour note on that. Sorry, not a land beer, a Keller beer. Come on, fucking get with it. This really is like it does remind me of a Keller beer. There's a slightly sour note to it, which I always get in good Keller beers. And it's there as well. And I think that comes from the yeast. I think the yeast, where you get that naturally cloudy element in the Keller beer, it does have some yeast in there, and that slight sour note says to me there's either a little bit of wild fermentation or spontaneous fermentation that's gone on in there, or it's specifically sour as it goes in. It's been exposed to the air, but it's nice. It's very subtle, but I'm definitely getting it now. And the more I look at it and the more I taste of it, it does remind me of a really good Keller beer. But let's dive in again. It's nice. There's quite a bit of the noble hop character on there, but it's more on the spicier side. But that is evened out by some quite sweet malt in there. There's no real, that I can discern anyway, and this is cold, it's coming out of the fridge, the way it should be drunk, and this room is obviously very warm, so we're heating up quite rapidly, or warming up, it's not heating up, and it's striking me that the two flavours that stand out are the sweet malt and the hop spice on this. There's not much of the lemon citrus that's in here, so I'm kind of wondering what hops would be in there. I'm sure there's some kind of variety of Hallertau in there, possibly some Spalt as well. But like with all the Veltins stuff and the Grevensteiner stuff as well, there is that malty element, that toasted malt element that's in there, and it's really nice. But again, late on that finish, you get the slightly sour note, which just throws everything out the water. Now they already do a Keller beer, I think, Grevensteiner, and they've done a clear, and they've done an unfiltered Helles, which is slightly, I wouldn't say baffling, but it does make me wonder why they've done two very, very similar styles of beer. Keller beer is unfiltered lager, so effectively you could argue with some conviction that this is a Keller beer, but it's still nice. I'm wondering if they're trying to latch onto the craft beer range of cloudy beers. I mean, cloudy beer is not a new phenomenon, but I'm wondering why they've called that Helles. I would expect a Helles to be filtered, but it's up to them. Either way, that is really nice. Very full-bodied, it goes down, very refreshing indeed as well, especially in this warm weather. And I'm really liking that. It's got that lovely toasted malt. If you've ever had Warsteiner, and Warsteiner is from the same region of the North Rhine-Westphalia area that the C&A Veltins Brewery is, they do share that very similar malt characteristic of having like I said it yesterday on a beer I tried yesterday. It had quite a heavily toasted white bread, if you can imagine that. That's what's coming through on there, and it's very nice, I have to say. That is a good one. So what is the verdict on Grevensteiner Naturtrübes Helles from C&A Veltins? Yeah, another good one from this range. Now I think the classification of this beer as a Naturtrübes Helles is, I wouldn't say confusing for me, but I do question why they've done it, because they do a Keller beer, and I think this would be better categorised as a Keller beer. It's got all the characteristics, even down to the slightly sour note that you get on Keller beers. But regardless, I don't care what they call it, that is a very, very nice beer. And I wouldn't have expected anything less from C&A Veltins, because they are a fantastic brewery. I would argue that they're one of the best from that region of the North Rhine-Westphalia, which is, if you're looking at a map of Germany, it's sort of western Germany, around that area. To me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this beer. It's got everything I would expect from a beer from that region. Quite a lot of hop character on there. The only thing that's lacking in this is any of the stuff you normally get from the filtered Helles, like the lemon and lime citrus backbone that runs through it. That's not there at all. I think they've replaced that with that slightly sour note that you get from the yeast on this. But either way, it's a great beer. I love it. Ice cold, that is very nice indeed. Well, this isn't ice cold. This is warming up rapidly, as I say. So there's probably more flavours coming through it. I've had to curtail it because this is very nice, and I'm just absolutely fucking caning it. But it's lovely. That's really nice. Absolutely no complaints about that whatsoever. They've done everything right on that, apart from the classification. But that's a minor gripe. I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10, a solid 8.5 out of 10, because that is superb. And it's another winner from the Grevensteiner range. Now, I will say, if you see anything from this range, it's going to be good. However, I think the land beer is probably the best one that they do in this range. They've called it Grevensteiner Original, but it is a land beer, and it is absolutely superb. And this is another worthy bearer of the Grevensteiner label. I really like it, so you're going to get no complaints from me on that. That is a solid 8.5 out of 10. I will say I prefer the original. I think that's just got much more going for it, flavour wise, but it's still good. I do like this. So yeah, that's a worthy 8.5 out of 10, and it's definitely recommended if you can find it over here. And remember, beer is working class champagne.